In. All right, guys, top of the morning, happy Wednesday, coming to you alive, excited, full of energy, full of passion, and I am so stoked for our session today. So you guys, we have tons to be grateful for, and I want you to look around in this community. I want you to form bonds, form brotherhoods, form sisterhoods, form partnerships, and that's what the goal of this. So if you've never been to Keep It Moving group coaching, please raise your hand or give an emoji on the screen just so I can see if you've never been here before. So for all of our guests that are here, I'd like to welcome you. This is a space that embraces the power of collective wisdom. We lean into this community to learn, to grow, we push, we've had vulnerable moments, we've had breakdowns, breakthroughs. And that's what this group is all about. I don't care what brokerage you're with. This is brand agnostic. This is an opportunity for us to come together with the purpose of doing this, keeping it moving towards our dreams, goals, and vision. And that's why we are here. So every single session that we do, I have somebody bring us out on the field, and that person's going to set the sentiment, bring us out in the tunnel for game day on Sunday. So I chose this person ahead of time because I knew that the room was going to be packed. So Ophelia Vargas, I'm going to go over to you and have you bring us out on the field on this beautiful Wednesday morning. So Ophelia, hit them with it. Let's go. Let's start this train moving down the tracks.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So this morning I am full of gratitude. Yesterday was an amazing day. Something that I want you guys to lead this morning. Hone in, listen to what she has to say. Giselle's an amazing woman. I followed her, and honestly, she inspired me to do my first TikTok. I'm going to have to say it. Sorry. You'll see it. But you guys, be zoned in.
Why don't you just apologize? Why don't you just apologize? Can we take that back?
Because I took advantage of this moment that I'm supposed to lead the troops in.
It's your moment. No. It's your moment.
All right. Well,
savor that moment. Let's give her some of these.
In just a moment. But I really want you guys to hone in, set your hearts, open your ears, listen to everything that's being said today. Because honestly, it is a privilege to have her. It is a privilege to have coaching like this. And these are the tools that you need to escalate. So if you're not using them, then what are we doing, right? Time is fleeting. You never get it back. So let's make use of it today and let's go.
Ah, God. Okay. I absolutely love it. So let's give some love to Ophelia. Thank you for bringing us out. And Ophelia, so check this out, Giselle, and I'm so glad that you're here. Let's have this conversation. So 2 years ago, now I've been working with Ophelia and she's in our organization. And there was a time where she didn't want to be on the mic. She didn't want to be on camera. She was reluctant. She was fearful. No way, no how. And then obviously through gentle nudges and sometimes not so gentle nudges of saying, get your ass on camera. Let's build your brand. Let's build your identity. Let's like catapult your cause, your vision, your purpose, all those things. She actually got an award yesterday for most energetic on-screen personality, and she held that award all day long. Like she didn't even let it go all day long. So shout out to you, Ophelia. That's why I wanted to have you bring us out on the field. So you guys want to get right into today's session, and this is why this is powerful. Each of you on this call are either living in one of these buckets. Either you are crushing it on social media and you're consistent and oh my God, like it's working for you and you're picking up traction, or you're the person that's just kind of slowly starting out, finding your groove, finding your rhythm, finding out what's working, or you're the person that is stuck in trepidation, doubt, and fear, like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this. No way. No one's going to like it. And oh my God, I'm just not going to post. And you have tons of videos that you think that you wanted to post, but you never posted it and they never do anything. And then you just live in this perpetual cycle of, oh my God, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So you either fall in one of those buckets. And I'm going to promise you this, and I'm going to be real with everybody on this call. At one time, I was in the bucket. I was in the bucket that I'm not going to create. I'm not going to do that. That's not for me. It's not my age group. All these things. And literally, that was 4.5 years ago. And then I decided to go all in on social media. And you guys have seen the growth. I'm not perfect. I'm eclectic by purpose. I am consistent, though, consistent. And I remember following Giselle, and I'm like, she's somebody that I want to align with. She's somebody that I am inspired by. I appreciate the game. I appreciate the tactics, and I appreciate being authentic and being real and being able to catapult my own intrinsic qualities as a human being. And I was inspired by that. So 2 years ago, I asked her to come on Keep It Moving group coaching, and she graciously did so. And I had never had the opportunity to meet her. Well, 2 weeks ago, I'm in New York and I'm like, there's one person. Now there's a tons of people there. Let me not discount everyone that's there. But there was one person I just wanted to go up to her, say hi, give her a hug, and see if the energy matched, right? The on-screen energy that I saw, I just want to see, is it a match? And certainly it was. And, like larger than life, but super, super humble. And so Giselle, I'm stoked for today. If you guys don't know Giselle, I'll let her do some official introductions, but she is a brand expert, media expert when it comes to social media video. So I'm just going to turn the mic over to you, Giselle. Let's have some fun. Let's volley back and forth and let's just go. So ladies and gentlemen, introducing Giselle Ugarte. Let's go.
Thank you so much, friends. I want this to be as conversational and interactive as possible. I don't have like a prepared spiel. If anything, I have a couple of bullets that I want to make sure that you take away from this. But if we've never met before, if you've never been in any of my sessions before, please introduce yourself again inside of the chat. Let me know who you are. Let me know where you are. And then I also want to know, for all of you, what is the first word that comes to mind when you think of social media? Like, what is the word that is living in your brain right now for how you feel about social media in this particular season of your life? And then show of hands, if you've ever felt personally victimized by a social media platform. Show of hands if you've ever felt overwhelmed by social media. Show of hands if you have ever opened up your phone and been like, oh my God, that's what I look like in the camera, right? Okay. If you've never worked with me before, coached with me before, seen me in a session before, we have a couple of rules. And sometimes that's different from the rules of the actual group that you're a part of. For me, you got to turn your camera on. As long as you are safely able to do so, meaning you're not driving, as long as there are no naked children in the background, you have to have your camera on. When you have your camera on, there's some subtext to that. No blurred backgrounds, no fake backgrounds, no green screens. Let's talk about it. Why, Giselle, why is that a rule? But Giselle, I don't look good today. But Giselle, I feel sick. But Giselle, I feel ugly today. That does not matter. Of all the places for you to be able to practice showing up on camera, which you should be doing on a daily basis, this is how you practice. Just making video a part of your everyday, seeing your face, having the accountability of that is what you beautifully and perfectly look like today. It's by having that camera turned on. And if you're in this group of people who love you and support you, and they want you to do well, and they love you in those imperfect moments, this is the best place to practice. And when it comes to that blurred background, but Giselle, isn't this more professional? But Giselle, my home is messy. But Giselle, I'm not anywhere as cool as you are. I'm in my messy hotel room and I am in my pajama pants. Okay. All right. This is a safe place, but also I want you to recognize, where are you putting filters in your life? I want you to write that down for me right now, because even if you're doing social media and you're doing video and consistently, where are you adding barriers for entry, barriers for connection, barriers for someone to not to be able to get to know you? And you guys are in the business of real estate. Please tell me, why in the world would I let you inside of my home if you won't even let me inside of yours? There is something that does not register with our brains when we see that blur or when we see that filter, where I know some of you are using the Zoom filter. Some of you might not even know that you have it turned on. And you don't even realize the ways in which you're actually muting the connection that you could potentially be creating with someone who you don't know yet. And right now, friends, we got trust issues. The last time I was here, we had trust issues, but now we have trust issues in the form of court cases. All right. Anybody watch the news lately? A lot of people, actually, most people have no idea what's going on inside the courts. I'm just going to be honest with you. Most people have no idea. But what they do know is stuff like Zillow and Realtor.com and Rentals.com, where they go, I could just do this all myself. That's really what it is. I could just do this all myself. And I'll be honest with you, my parents, who are in their 70s, wanted to put up one of their homes for rental. And I was like, Mom, don't do it yourself. You have no idea what you're doing. Let's call one of the real estate agents that I know. And I called 3 people who I know, love, and adore, and have either worked with or are friends with. And I called them, and even on the phone, friends, these people could not articulate what it is that they could do that I could not. And by the way, that has nothing to do with their skills, because as their coach, I had to be like, friend, I'm going to be honest with you on this phone call. If I was not me and if I did not know you, I would not work with you. I would go post the listing myself. And so I need you all to understand how you need to create trust from the jump. And what's more important than just your confidence and your videos and your social media and your systems is knowing your value. And I want you to write that down. I want you to know your value. And I want you to understand that when we use these tools like social media and video, and when we communicate, a lot of it is actually practicing how you explain your value. I know with 100% certainty that I am a better coach and a better speaker and a better communicator because I've had to use stories with a 60-second bumper, or reels or TikToks with at one point it was 60 and then now it's 90-second bumper, where I have to be concise. I have to get my point across and still leave someone wanting more. And so it is so important that even if you're like, Giselle, I'm still not ready for social media, or especially if you are in 2024, know your value. What is it that you can do that your client could not? What is it that you could do that your client could not? Because if all you're saying is, well, I have great social media, I have great videos, what does that mean? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Instagram? Are you posting information? Are you posting house tours? Oh, you have a great database. What does that mean? Do you have friends? So do I. What's so different about your database that's different from mine? Do you have referral partners who are in a specific region or neighborhood or outside state? Do you know vendors who specialize in custom builds? Do you speak Spanish? Do you speak French? Are you going to have a newsletter that goes out to hundreds of thousands of people? Is your organization going to put me in the local newspaper? What does network mean? Are you going to hold open houses? And if you do, what's different from me putting a for sale by owner sign on my property where anybody who wants to come and see it can just make an appointment? How are you communicating your value? How are you, when you say we have the best marketing ever, our organization is known for marketing, because at least internally, that's absolutely the reputation that you all have. But what does that mean? Most people don't know the difference between marketing and advertising. I would be willing to bet that there are people on this call who don't know the difference between marketing and advertising. And if you're brave enough to raise your hand, totally fine. Don't worry, I'm going to go into it. But if not, I'll just let you know. Marketing is what represents you all the time, no matter what. So it is your website, it is your social media, it is your brand logo design. Advertising is what happens when you put money behind that marketing. What happens when you put dollars behind that marketing? And Elias and I were just at Inman in New York, and there was a speaker who went on before me, and it was really awesome. This guy gave the audience 5, he let them vote on what they were going to focus the topic on. He said, I'm going to give you ChatGPT prompts. You get to vote on what we give you prompts for. And so it's not like he actually had 5 presentations ready. He just had 5 slides ready with prompts on them. But this is what he asked the audience. He said, okay, do you want 5 newsletter prompts? Do you want 5 TikTok hooks? Do you want a whole social media plan for 30 days? Do you want effective ad prompts? Do you want, I don't remember what the 5th one was, but by and large, I'm watching the votes come in, because he had this little graph on this screen where you could vote in real time. And I saw the ads one go up and up and up and up and up, and it was significantly higher than everybody else. And even though I know that you as a group, if you've been here for a minute, that your group preaches, let's do organic, let's build those relationships, there's a point here. And that is, I'm watching the ads go up and up and up. And I had to have this very real conversation with the audience after the presentation without making it weird, to say, listen, as your coach, that might be what you want. And those ads prompts might be really, really effective. But truth be told, 99% of you are not ready for ads. 99% of you are not ready for ads. What does that have to do with you? Giselle, I'm not running ads. Who cares? Okay, a couple of things. Number one, what that told me is that oftentimes we as adults just want to be able to throw money at a problem, especially once we start making the money. I just want to pay for it. Just make it go away. Just make it better. Just make it easy. Okay. Those who are going to make it into 2024, especially in the real estate space, they are not the ones who are just trying to make everything easy. Easier, maybe, but they know that they have to put in the work first. So I want you to write down and commit. I'm ready to put in the work. I'm ready to put in the work. In fact, everybody, I want you to unmute yourselves. Let's all unmute. Let's make this commitment together in front of everybody right now. And I want you to repeat after me. I'm ready to put in the work. I'm ready to put in
I'm ready to put in the work.
Put in the work.
Put in the work.
Ready to
work.
put in the work. I'm ready to put in the work.
Ready to put in the work.
I'm ready to put in
Amen.
the work. I'm ready to put in the work. Ready to put in
Let's
the
go.
work.
Amen.
Putting in the work.
Woo!
Let's do this.
I love it. And so what's so important about that is recognizing that just because the work looks different for me and looks different for you doesn't mean that neither one of us is working hard. I might have started first. You might have just gotten started. I heard a couple people that were like, I'm putting in the work. I hear you. And I love you. I love you. I love you. And I want to simply remind you that just because your hard and my hard look different doesn't mean that we're all working hard. In fact, it's really never supposed to be easy. That's the other piece about this. It's never supposed to be easy, because once you get to that easy point, you should be taking on something else where perhaps you're working so hard that you can spend more time with your family. Well, then you got to put in the work with your family. You got to take on that role as dad, or you got to take on that role and work hard to relax or work hard to make the vacation plans. You still got to put in the work. And I think this idea of just being able to take a magic pill, those are the ones where I'm like, if that's you, great, get out the room. And let's make room for the ones who are willing to work, because those are the people who I want to have around me. And part of social media, part of video is it's not supposed to be easy, because you're constantly learning about your people, you're constantly connecting, and then you're updating and you're upgrading and you're adapting and you're re-collaborating. And there are a few things that I want to address right now, which is, yes, there are new features, and we're going to talk about some of those new features that are so important. But I also want to recognize that I've now been creating and studying online video content for 15 years. Okay, 15. It's longer than TikTok has been in existence. And the advice that I was giving 15 years ago, the advice that I was having to take 15 years ago because your girl was green and vanilla and trying to be everybody but her on video, it's still the same as what I'm giving today, even down to the editing. I unfortunately, one of my biggest regrets is that I deleted some of my earliest YouTube videos. So if you're in that place right now and you're so embarrassed and you're cringing at some of your older videos, my advice is archive it or screen record it before you delete it, or don't delete it, because I wish, oh my God, now that I'm on the other side, I wish I had it. But if you look at some of my older videos, even the ones that are 7 or 10 years old, I'm doing jump cuts. The difference is that it looks like this, the hamburger way, not the hot dog way. It's horizontal, not vertical. But I'm still doing it. I'm still using hooks. I'm still thinking of my world as a playlist. And so we really want to think of everything but what it actually takes, and it's personal attention and keeping that attention. And for those of you that are like, but Giselle, the ROI, my followers aren't going up, my views aren't going up. Couple of things, couple of words of encouragement here. My clients who get the most quality clients from their social media have less than 5,000 followers. And in fact, one of them, her name's Vivian Tejeda. She's out of Fort Worth, Texas. Her account got hacked last year. She had to start from zero. But this time when she started from zero, she knew what the hell she was doing. And she knew who she was going after, and she knew how to make her videos. And so she was able to start from zero, knowing full well who she was and attracting a very quality community. Yeah, there's always going to be those weirdos, and it happens. Yeah, there's always going to be the trolls, but guess what? The bigger you get, the more trolls you're going to have, the more taxes you're going to pay, the more people are going to lie about you. And so where you're like, oh, followers, 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 you can still get more clients, and that might not change your view count. A lot of my clients who are in commercials specifically, they don't typically get a lot of views, but for them, one view, one quality lead can make their year. For you, what if you just got 5? What if you just got 5 new quality leads from your social media, from your videos? Would that change your business? Would that change your business? Show of hands. Would that change your business if you got 5 new quality leads in the next 90 days from social media? And all of that spin that you can then take from social media, like that can make all of the difference in the world. And so instead, I want you to start thinking about meaningful metrics for you. Write that down, meaningful metrics. There's performance metrics. So performance metrics might be for you, rather than doing 67 takes, being able to do the video in 1, or maybe it's 3, right? For you, it might be not beating yourself up so much. For you, it might be, you know what? I don't feel pretty today, but I'm going to make the video anyway. Because tell me, friends, if your client called you, if this amazing client who could give you over 100,000 in commission, if they called you and said, hey, I'm only going to be in town for 24 hours. Can you meet me at Starbucks this afternoon? Would you be like, you know what? I have a pimple on my face and I'm feeling bloated. I can't come. But why do we treat videos that way? Why do we treat videos that way? Oh, I don't feel good about myself today, so I'm not going to make the video. You never know who could be on the other side of that video. And how they're going to judge you is how you look in person. And if today you got a pimple on your face, I'm going to see that pimple. To be honest with you, I probably won't even notice that pimple. Only you're going to notice that pimple. I'm only going to notice that pimple if you say, yeah, I have this pimple on my face. I'm going to be like, you do? Oh, I didn't even notice that. In fact, y'all, one time, I don't know if I've ever told this story here before. I haven't shared this very much lately, but my friend reminded me of it. I had just started my business. This was almost 3 years ago now. And I was filming my first new course, and I'd filmed like 30 videos. And the type B brain that I am, I waited until the very last minute to do it. I did it all by myself. And it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm uploading all these videos. And at the time I had only looked at the little monitor on my camera that's like this big. But then all of a sudden I'm editing the videos and I'm on my monitor that's like this big. And I notice, oh shit, there's a massive booger in my nose. Like we got a bat in the cave. And I just spent all this time doing it. I had 4 hours to upload it because I said 6 a.m. the videos are going to be available. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Am I going to film everything? Like, what am I going to do? So I call up one of my friends who I'm like, she's going to tell me if the dress looks bad. She's going to tell me if my hair looks ugly. Like, if you don't have one of those friends in your life, then you need to get one of those friends. And if you know exactly who I'm talking about when I'm talking about that friend, I want you to write their name down. And after this call, I want you to send them a text and just say, thanks for being a homie. Thanks for being a friend. Like, thanks for being someone who I can trust. So I call her because she was on Pacific time. I was on, I think, Central or Eastern time. And I was like, hey, I'm going to send you this video. And I just want you to tell me if you notice anything weird. And she's like, well, what is it? And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you. You just tell me. So I can hear her on the phone and she's watching it and she's rewatching it and she's rewatching it. She goes, well, there's kind of this like this dry skin that's like peeling off of your forehead. And I'm like, what? Like, she didn't even notice the booger. Now she like notices dry skin on my forehead. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to upload these videos. Like, I'm just going to do it. And guess who noticed the booger? Guess who noticed the dry skin on my forehead? Nobody. Guess who noticed that I had put on like 30 pounds? Literally nobody. Because at that point in my life, people just knew me for whatever I was. And if they knew me long enough, they probably saw that gradual transition. And if they didn't know me, that's just what they thought that I looked like. They have no idea. And so again, I just want to remind you, it is about that personal experience. It is about connecting in person. So for you, that meaningful metric might be that you're not so hard on yourself, that you're just going to upload the video and not even think about it and just let it happen into the world. And if it performs well, great. If not, we forget that that's still a rep. Like, even if it wasn't the best workout of your life, if you go to the gym and you break a sweat, that's still a workout. That's still a workout. And then for you, what are the metrics that actually matter? What are the metrics that actually matter? What does your bank account look like? What does your inbox look like? What for you, maybe it is a little bit views, but maybe it's views from the right people. Maybe it's more meaningful comments. Maybe it's comments in real life where people are commenting on that. My favorite thing to look at more than anything in the world these days is time. Time. And I want you to write that down because maybe you can't see the ROI in terms of dollar value right away, but time is something that starts showing up really quickly. And I want to tell you why. Because how awesome it is when, for example, I'm in Toronto or I'm on the road and I will upload a video that I already had in my camera roll. So I'm not even making new content necessarily. And I'll wake up the next day after posting before I went to sleep, and Instagram will give me a notification that says, your video has been viewed for 24 hours. Your video has been viewed for 24 hours. So some of you are like, but Giselle, it takes me forever to upload. I don't care if it takes you 2 hours to upload something. If you get 24 hours back into your day, if you get 24 hours multiplied, if you get 24 hours where someone is creeping on you at 2 o'clock in the morning and sliding into your DM saying, I think I want to work with you, because that's when they were, doing the whole house search thing because they couldn't sleep at night, but that took no energy to you. That took no appointment to you. That took no putting pants on for you. A win is a win. A win is a win. Like, who wishes that you could have more time in your day and as many personal assistants as Beyonce? Me. Okay. What I don't want though, and this is where you can get in trouble, is I've noticed that the most successful people on social media spend more time creating than they do consuming. And even when they're consuming, they're still creating. Let me say that again. Even when they are consuming, they're still creating. How do you think you can consume and create at the same time? Any guesses?
You're racking up ideas.
Inspiration.
Remix and stitch and all the.
Okay. So a lot of you are saying it's ideas and inspiration, but let's be real, you haven't looked at your saved folder in like months. But for some of you, you really are getting ideas, in which case I would say, you know what, like I'll say that. I'll say that. Just make sure that we differentiate the productivity, the remixes and the reels. I didn't hear what I was going after though. So let's see if anybody else can guess. How can you consume and create at the same time?
Interacting with the post.
There it is. There it is. So sometimes the most important, valuable content that you can create is in the comments. Let me say that again. It's in the comments. You want people to engage with your content, yet you're not engaging at all with anybody else's? That's rude. That doesn't sound very social to me. How are you cheering each other on? How are you interacting with your potential clients and your partners and your vendors? How are you letting people know the effect that they had on you in the same way that you want people to let you know that you had an effect on them? Because sure, you could just put a cute little flame emoji, little heart eyes, or you could say, damn, this really hit me. Thank you so much for making this video. Or, oh my gosh, y'all make the best coffee in Toronto. Every single time I land, this is the first place I go. Thank you for waking up a real estate agent when times is tough. Appreciate you. And that's creating a relationship with a local business. It's creating a conversation. The other thing is that now on every platform, comments can go viral too. Have y'all noticed that? Have you seen it? I mentioned this a little over a year ago. It's been over a year. That's wild. When I made the video where your comments can go viral. And when that happens, your comments get ranked. And so all of a sudden your comments are also kind of like a walking billboard. And yeah, there's pinned comments too, Vanessa. And so, for example, it doesn't matter if you're just saying something really nice to a client who you love. I'm so happy that you and your family are moved into this home. What an awesome ride it was to work with you. And that is a billboard for you. Or for me, I had a comment recently that went viral on a post of Jason Kelce. And you know what? I got a lot of clients who have been watching a lot of football and or a lot of Taylor Swift. And all of a sudden I got my comment going wild and people going, who's this girl holding a sneaker? And they creep. And you know what? Most of those people who creeped probably didn't follow me, but some of them did. Some of them did. Giselle, I'm here because you made a comment about the Jason Kelce candle. You're a real one. And also it looks like you're really cool. I'm excited to follow you. You never know. You never know. Just by you being nice, just by you being nice. Like that's so important. But then I also want to talk about, so we talked about meaningful metrics. We talked about, performance metrics and even the ones that you can play after. Now I want to talk a little bit about the features. Every single time that Instagram drops a new feature, all of the gurus make videos about the new feature. I don't. I sit back and watch. I sit back and watch because to me, the features are distractions. The features are cute ideas, but I'm like, what does this really mean? What does this really mean? Because oftentimes Instagram does not do what they say and they do not say what they do. And so I'm the one who I sit back and I watch and I wait and I lurk and I go, does this even actually make sense to the user experience? And most importantly, what does this mean for my people? What does this mean? So you had a lot of gurus who were so excited about Instagram having this new filter for bots, right? And a lot of them were talking about how this will be great for those people who have fake followers. And I'm like, is it? I don't know if I believe it because I've seen waves of people who have fake followers and fake engagement and fake views. And by the way, guys, not worth it. Not worth it. Not worth it because you might be fooling some people, but you'll be losing a whole lot of respect from other people. From the peers, from the ones that you want to build with. And also it's like, again, how much better do you feel about yourself when you actually put in the work and build the relationships versus you got a whole bunch of bots telling you that you look pretty that day, but you hate yourself? Like, come on. But I digress. I digress. So, we had a lot of people that were like, this is great. People are going to be able to tell the bots apart. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the case. I love Instagram, but I don't think Instagram is that smart. Like, we ask about all these things and then they give us a new feature that we didn't ask for. But what ends up happening is it's kind of biting you guys in the ass. And I'll tell you why. Because what we thought was that it would make the ones with the fake followers with like hundreds of thousands look bad. And what's happening is it's accidentally going after the little people. And I'll tell you why. So in case you haven't noticed this, I'm going to explain it. And if you've seen it, then just sit tight with me and maybe this can help you explain this to your people. So this filtration on Instagram, it's showing up in two different ways. The first one is, have y'all ever noticed in your inbox, you have like multiple inboxes? You have primary, general, and then requests. Okay. Now, for some of you, your settings, you're like, if you don't follow me, or if I don't follow you, you cannot send me a message. In which case, good for you, but also you're kind of missing out because you want people who don't know you to reach out to you because your people probably won't even follow you before they hire you. But what happens is you have now people who are getting put into the requests folder and being marked as spam, even when they're not. And I want to tell you why. So a couple of things. If your logo or if your profile picture is a logo and not your face, that could be why. If you are registered as a business rather than a creator, that could be why. If your whole profile is templates or doesn't include your face, that could be why. Even if your templates are gorgeous, but if your profile looks like a flyer, that could be why. If a lot of you are copying and pasting the exact same message to person after person after person after person, that could be why. If a lot of you are sharing a listing with no context and sending that to person after person after person after person, that could be why. I also think that in some cases, some of you have the messaging bots like a ManyChat or a Mobile Monkey. I'm also starting to think that they might be looking at that. I don't have anything to back it up, but exactly, bots don't buy homes and you have to grow organically. And then just a quick little tangent. Naveed said, you can tell from the engagement, 50,000 followers, but 20 views. People are buying views now and people are buying engagement. And it's really sad and it's really pathetic. And the way that you can tell is just go look at the comments. You can tell, like it will be a broken English. It'll be a lot of the same constant comments over and over and over. It'll be a lot of emojis when emojis were not called. Like sometimes I'll say, drop a flame emoji. But like, you'll still look at my comments and see people that are like, damn girl, I love your ponytail or whatever, versus this is cool, this is good. And like, maybe it has nothing relevant to do with the content. It's wild how sophisticated and sad people are fooling themselves to be. And I would be lying if I said, 10 years ago, there was a moment where I bought the followers and then I was really embarrassed when they all disappeared. But I got to eat that humble pie and here we are. But now that it's happening in this way and they're faking it so hard, it's yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. So a lot of you are getting put into the requests folder, and no, it doesn't matter if you're paying for verification or if you have the verification check mark. People with the verification check mark are still ending up in the requests folder. The other thing that I noticed after Inman is I had a lot of real estate agents who followed me. Now, when I go into my followers, like if I want to tap on my followers, there's this new subsection of potential spam. And I have to physically approve if those people can follow me or not, even though I don't have approval set up for my profile. It's automatically putting people in this holding pattern where they're not even technically allowed to follow me because they've been marked as spam. And after Inman, I noticed there were a whole lot of people in there and they were real people. They were not bots, but Instagram had mistaken them as being bots. And so what I say to my clients is, it's unfortunate that these real people are being mistaken as bots and that these real fraudulent people are not being called out. But that, if nothing else, should be putting the fire under you. Oh, I forgot the other one, that all of your photos are filtered. All of your photos are so filtered that they think that you could be an avatar and not a real person. I always say, drop the filters, friends. You cannot take that with you on appointments. You cannot tell your client to look at you at a certain angle or from the waist up or under certain lighting. No, it is not a replacement for makeup. If it is, show it to me, because I have totally shown everyone how, no, that's not the same as your makeup. And so, yes, like, unless it is a form of personal expression, like a mustache or a funny hat or like the crying sad face, the filters are really just making you frustrated for why you don't look that way in your phone camera, in your friends' photos, or in the mirror. So my challenge for you, if you love the filters, drop it for 30 days, see what happens. Just see what happens. It feels awesome. Okay. That time went by really, really fast. I want to make sure that we have some time for questions. And if we don't have questions, then I want to jump into an audit. And before we do, if I'm new to you, or even if I'm not new to you and you are still in the mind tangle that you were in when we first met, and you want to keep this momentum going, so many humans from this community have taken my content accelerator that we've now rebranded as On-Camera Confidence Bootcamp. We kick off next week. It's 8 virtual group sessions. We go hard. We play with every single type of on-camera video feature known to social media so that you can build confidence on camera, get comfortable on social media, and start setting yourself apart even from each other. Because I'll be honest, sometimes the real brand, it all kind of, like all of you, like, whether it be, your brokerage or whoever it is, like sometimes it starts to look alike because you can't help it. Like you want to mimic like who you are, or mimic the people around you. It's natural when you're around each other all the time. So with that, like, if you want to figure out, how do I set myself apart? How do I stand out? How do I let the real me stand out? How do I let that stand out? If you want to take that momentum further and really go into 2024 hard, we always offer discounts to this community, to the Fast Fam. I'm so grateful. And even if you're coming here and you're a guest today and you're like, wait, I'm not part of this team, I'm not part of this brokerage, what do you mean? All good, because you're here, you get access to that. So I'm going to put the coupon code inside of the chat. And if you're like, Giselle, I want to keep the party going, I need this help, I need this support, I need you to physically, virtually hold my hand to get me on camera and to get me feeling good on social media, all good, babe. I want the real you to stand out.
God, I absolutely love it. So I think we should dive right. We'll save Q&A for a moment. and we're going to dive right into an audit because I think that this is a really effective practice. And what I need is I need 3 volunteers. But before I get there, I want to, I knew Jess Bling would raise her hand, but I want to ask how many people on this call learned about this call from social media? Give me a fire emoji, and just that way I can see how many people learned about this here session, keep it moving, from social media. All right, cool. So some of you guys saw it on social media. Now, here's what's great about this is that obviously this is new to me. And I always tell you, I'm never going to ask you to do something that I wouldn't do myself. What I hear a lot of the times is that people say, I'm not good on video. And then I'll ask them, how many videos have you created in the last 6 months? Well, you know, not that many. Well, then you don't have any fucking body of work to tell yourself, I'm not good at something, right? I'm not good at something. So what you do is you create a bunch of gritty, imperfect, consistent content, and then over time, you can evaluate, you can make adjustments, you can make enhancements, you can use different hooks, you could use the body different, you can close out different, CTA, call to action, all these things. But if you don't have a body of work to analyze, then you have no room to criticize yourself because you haven't put in the reps. And you said something I think was really powerful, and I wrote tons of notes here. My world as my playlist. Oftentimes I hear from people about their journey on social media of like, well, I'm just boring. No, you're not, because think about all the things that you're into, the car, the family, the night out, the drinking, the business, all the things that you do. Real estate is a small fraction of who we are. I bet if you allowed people to see who you really were, then you're going to attract the people that you really should be attracting. Because here's the thing. People try to relate to everyone or try to get everyone to like them. Not everyone's going to like. I don't like everybody. 30% of people are
Sometime.
30% of people are actually going to vibe with you, are going to rock with you, that get your messaging. So stop trying to be everything to everyone else and conforming to the way that you think they think you should show up. Versus, know what? I'm going to be myself, middle finger to the world. And if you don't like me, it's cool. Don't follow me. It's all right, because there's 30% of people that truly like Elias, and that's who I'm looking for. And you guys, I love this messaging so much because me, the company, Kenny, we're living proof that you could build an identity, a brand, a company, an awareness, a cause because of social media. Because of social media, we are living proof. And that's why I harp on you guys so much, because I believe it, because I know it's been done. So let's do this. Let's go back to you, Giselle. We're going to go into some audits.
No, I appreciate you so much. And that's the thing too, is I love how you said, I'm not good at it. For you to be good at it is for the, like, truly, I keep saying real, and it's because like, we want the real you to come out. I want, you know, we both of us, we met in person, and it's like, Dan, you are exactly who you are online as you are offline. You're exactly the same, because that's what we're putting out. Like, versus the ones who, if you're trying to be fake or you're trying to be perfect, yeah, we can tell. We can tell. And everybody you carve out your own quirky, nerdy, fun, bougie, sporty niche, because that's who you are as a person, not because you're manufacturing your niche. You are your niche. And so if you need someone to light the fire, you know, what I also think sets us apart too is I genuinely care. Like, I'm not doing this because I'm getting paid tens of thousands of dollars. Like, I'm in Toronto. I took the morning off, and I was like, you know what? Like, let's get a call now. I don't want to wait until April. Like, I want to get on a call now. I don't want your people to go another month without understanding how important this is, especially in this time and place and season where so many of you are discouraged by your market. Create your own market. Who cares about interest rates? You have people in your life who their lives are falling apart, and they need you. They need to know that they can go to somebody trustworthy, because they're not looking at interest rates when they're deciding when they're getting divorced or leaving a marriage or have a death in the family or losing their jobs or need to downsize or have to, you know, move across the country or into a different country. They need you, and you're doing a disservice if you're not showing them the ways in which you can help and are so excited to do so. That's how you create your market. That's how you create your business, because they don't care about interest rates, even if they don't have that. Like, they just want to go home. They just want to go home. And
Mm.
so we want to make it as easy as possible. If you click on that and you're like, Giselle, I want to do this so bad, but I can't afford it right now. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to afford it. So we have a payment plan, or you can DM me. We can figure something out. Like, this is an investment in you. And I loved a quote I heard the other day from Reese Witherspoon, where she said, I didn't go buy a lottery ticket. I am the lottery ticket. I'm the lottery ticket. And if I'm gonna invest in someone, if I'm gonna invest in something, it's going to be me, because I know that I'm ready to do the work. And I know that my work will pay off. I'm not going to worry about other people's money. I'm going to put my own money into my own heart, into my own accountability and commitment, because that is where I know that I will be fruitful and multiply into existence and help people who need my help.
I
So
love
let's get to some questions. Or if you wanted to go audits, I'm down with whatever. I see a lot of hands up.
Let's do 2 audits, and obviously,
Okay.
you know, I will always throw my name in the hat as well. You know, if you need someone to do an audit, I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. You know, I'm open and I'm humble. But let's do this. Let's go Jess, and let's go George. Let's get to 2 right now, and then we'll see how much time we have left.
Yeah.
People are saying audit me. I
Yeah.
don't think Giselle's going to
Well,
audit
here's
you
the
soon if your camera's not on. I'm just saying.
That too.
Her role.
Let's also do this. If you sign up for on-camera boot camp tonight and we don't get to you, if you sign up by tonight, I will give you 15 minutes of my one-on-one time and give you an audit.
Boom.
And we'll still do audits, but as an added bonus, if you sign up by midnight tonight, I will give you 15 minutes of one-on-one time and or go through an audit as an added bonus. Don't tell anyone. I'm not opening that up to the public. Don't tell anybody. And I'll go ahead and share that one again. Aaron, I love it. You're signed up.
Let's go,
But yeah,
George.
let's go through some
Jessica.
audits.
George Martinez. You want me to pull up his profile, or do you want to pull it up?
I can pull it up.
All right, cool. Let's go. And mind you, Giselle, this is somebody that kicked and screamed about getting on social media. I'm like, bro, let's do it. Let's go. And his business has blown up ever since he surrendered. He's actually really good on camera. So
I love it. It looks like I actually can't see screen sharing, or I can't do screen sharing. So if you want to pull it up.
Hold on, you got it. Yeah, here you go. You're on now. You have screen sharing. Go.
Okay. All right. So whenever I do an audit, I want to give you like a full-blown first impression. So the first thing is I want to see how easy is it to find you. So I just went ahead and typed in Jorge Martinez. Let's go. And we are at a little bit of a disadvantage because we have mutual friends in common, but you did pop up. We got the bright green. We see your cute smiling face. So we found this. I'm assuming this is you, right? This is you?
Tim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So first things first, let's take a look at profile name and username. Username, we got your name, which is, well, actually, technically we don't. So we don't have your last name and your username. So you don't have to necessarily change it, but if we want to make you as easy as possible to find, if I'm looking up your first and last name after meeting you, that's what I'm going to look for. So I might potentially be thrown off. Again, is it going to be the thing that throws me off because I see your photo? No, but as your coach, I want to tell you how easy it is to find you or not. And that could be something that's at a disadvantage. Now, I'm sure that there are probably other people who have that username. So that might have been also why you chose that. In which case, if you're going to have to pick a different name, I still say have your first name first, immediately followed by your last name, because that's what people are looking for. Any changes to it be after the name. So if you were to add the junior, if you were to add real estate, if you were to add Bay Area, have it be afterwards so that way you're as easy as possible to find.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Then we have your profile name. I love that we have your name and then you even include Bay Area. Y'all, so many of you forget to put your city or your state somewhere in the vicinity of your profile. Go double check for the sake of your clients and even your referral partners. If I don't know where you live, I gotta know. I want to know. So we got your real estate advisor, EXP, TV host. We've got your license number, fitness and travel. So a couple of things here. This is clean. It's really neat. So again, as your coach, I want to take you from good to great. So what are some things that we can be thinking about? So really, truly, we have realtor, which is great. So in that sense, you already put that you're realtor. I don't know that I necessarily need to see real estate advisor again.
Okay.
It's fine there, but could we potentially use that for better real estate, pun intended? Maybe. Other thing too is that we really overestimate how intelligent people are. A lot of people might not know that advisor is the same thing as agent. I know that sounds really silly, but sometimes when we come up with different words, we don't necessarily know, okay, so does that mean that you work in an office, or does that mean that you can actually help me with homes? Does this mean that you have a corporate position? And so just making it as easy as possible for people to understand. Do I mind it? No. Do I think you should change it? Not necessarily, but just being mindful of that. As far as putting your brokerage in it, I know a lot of people take pride in their brokerage, but just know, and this is a personal decision, totally up to you. I don't think one way or the other. For some of you, your brokerage actually helps and creates camaraderie. So for example, EXP, it's like you're in a fraternity. Like a lot of people see that and you go, okay, they're my peoples. I was in a sorority, so that's not taking a dig, by the way. But you need to decide, do I write that or do I tag it? Because what then happens is someone might then go, oh, okay, well then I'm going to go over to EXP and I'm going to go see everybody else who's available. So again, personal decision, totally up to you. Just something to be mindful of, because as your coach, I want to show you the big picture. Okay, TV host, fun, great. We got your license, fine. Fitness and travel, that's something that for me, if you show off your workout routines and your travel, show me that. You don't have to tell me that.
Got it.
I would
Okay.
rather see pictures of you working out and traveling around the world versus you just saying fitness and travel. And so again, how can we use that more efficiently for us? How can we get some space back? And that's just something that I think comes to mind. I love friends. Ding, 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 ding. If you don't have this, an actionable bio, write that down. Actionable bio. You're telling your people what to do. You're giving them a call to action. You're pointing to your link in bio. So he's saying, let's connect. This is how you connect with me. Now, just for kicks, I'm going to go ahead and click on your link tree. Now, this, friend, is where I would check out. There are so many choices. So if you're going to have a link tree, focus on 3 options, absolutely no more than 5. But what you did so well here is you made these actionable as well. Schedule a buyer-seller consultation. And to be honest with you, this could actually be your only option. Maybe you don't even have a link tree. You just have your Calendly of getting someone to take a call with you because you're taking that next step. When you're saying check me out on Zillow, why would I want to check you out on Zillow? Am I seeing your listings? Am I seeing your review? Is it the kind of thing where it's don't take my word for it? This is what my client said about me. Save me to your phone. That sounds a little forward, George. We haven't even met yet. So, how do we, find your next home? So now we're starting to get a little desperate. Now it's all exclamation points. It's like, pick me, pick me, pick me, versus how are you giving them value? So I would instead really focus on maybe 1 or 2, maximum 3, but I want to just emphasize how brilliant you were in that you made these actionable. So round of applause for you there.
Thank you.
Yes. And then really quick here, and this is the last note before we move on. So I noticed that you don't have any pinned posts. So make sure that you're utilizing the ability to pin whichever 3 posts you want to the top of your posts, and also whichever posts you want to the top of your reels. These should not be the most of you. These should be if I was on vacation and didn't post for 30 days, what are the 3 posts that I would want people to see to get to know me? And then the other thing, notice how—
I think those top 3 are pinned. I see
Oh,
them.
they are?
I see them pinned.
Yeah, those 3 are pinned. The top 3.
Oh, they are? Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I'm seeing them pinned.
Okay, sounds good. They're not, for some reason, I'm not seeing them on my end, but they are popping up, so great. The last note that I was going to say is a lot of your text here is getting cut off.
Okay.
So just make sure that before you post, On Instagram, in Instagram, you don't have to make anything new. You can actually adjust and move up and down your video for how it appears to your profile grid. And you could probably even go in and edit it so that way we can actually see what this text says.
Okay, sweet. We'll do that.
All right, let's give a round of applause for the bravery of the
you.
first one. Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You are on time. I'm okay to stay for a few minutes, but if we have a hard out, that's okay too.
Let's do one more and then we'll do some Q&A because
Okay.
the meeting as well. Let's do Jess Bling as it is.
Do you want to do an audit or a question? I think
me?
you're on mute. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking Elias. I would both. Can we just do a quick audit of my content, because I think that will help me answer. I guess my question is based off of looking at my profile. Last year I was able to make 6 figures off of just social media. And
you are.
Pardon?
You were. I was just celebrating you. I was winning.
Hey, I like it. And so my goal this year is like, okay, well, fuck it. How do we double and make extra money? And so I did this challenge just to get me on camera every day for 30 days. But I don't know if it's necessarily increasing content. And so that's kind of where the audit is like, what more do I post so that I can attract more business?
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to give everyone just a quick screen grab, and then I think this is a great question for all of you. So, we got Papusa Bombs, Come With Me to Get Closing Gifts, Home Journey, Day 27 of 30, Real Estate Tips, Sing Along and Get Ready, Trying Stuff That You've Seen on Social Media, Taste Testing Krispy Kreme. Okay. So your content is all over the place, and I don't mind that. Some people would say, Jeff, this is all over the place. What are you doing? Like, you got to niche down. So to be honest with you, this seems like this is your personality. And because of that, I'm like, cool. But here's what I don't want, because it's okay for content to be all over the place, because we are all whole human beings. Okay. We are all whole human beings. Your girl loves football. Your girl loves real estate. Your girl loves chicken wings. Your girl okay. I love all of those things. But what I don't want is when you guys just start throwing spaghetti at the wall, because what you're trying to do is get views and attention. Here's why that can work against you. When you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and you're not actually connecting with anybody, then that's where I go, what is this? And I get bored or turned off. Not because of the content itself, but because I'm now realizing that you're doing it for you and not for me. So for example, if you're trying something because you saw it on social media, I want to feel like I'm doing it with you. Like, I want to feel like I'm in the conversation with you. Kind of like how even with your best friends, maybe you talk about dating, maybe you talk about work, maybe you vent about that person who pissed you off this morning because Jenny was being a bitch, like whatever. But like, regardless, like you can have those different types of conversation points. I just want to at least have a consistent through line of you connecting with me. But then there's this other piece that I want you to be just brutally aware of, every single one of you, okay? Because even if you're like, Giselle, I only post about houses. Okay, well, you're doing a disservice to your clients if you're only talking about real estate, just to let you know. But also, this is what I want you guys to all understand. It used to be that your content was only shown to your followers. Now, as long as your profile is public, it is guaranteed to be put in front of people who do not follow you, and in a hyper-targeted way. And here's the key part for you, Jess, non-chronologically. Okay. Non-chronologically. What does that mean, Giselle? It means that in your feed, you might see something that's 2 hours old. You might see something that is 2 years old, 2 months old, 6 weeks old. And so when you're saying day 27 of whatever, so what you're doing, unless it is something that I would be interested in following along the journey, then day something isn't going to make me want to go back to anything. So it could be that for you internally, it makes sense to go, okay, I'm posting for 30 days, but I don't necessarily need to do that, because most of the time when someone's posting every day for social media, it's not for the audience unless they're legitimately doing observations. It's for themselves. So for example, it might be day 30 of no caffeine. Oh shit, really? You're doing day 30 of no caffeine? Like, how does that feel? Like, what does that life look like? You know what I mean? Or if it's day 30 of no alcohol and you're noticing differences, that's inspiring to somebody else. If you're gonna show day 30 of doing social media, you need to tell me, like, what is it that it would have to do with me? Or like, just understand, the first post that I might see of yours might be day 27. What would actually make me care and want to follow along in that journey? And is it something that makes sense to show the world or not? So my assignment to you, Jess, is going to be, I want you to be more intentional, because everyone write this down. More is only more if more is actually good. It used to be that those who posted the most were the ones who got rewarded. Back when it was chronological, back when it was just to your followers. But now, if, for example, you post something and people aren't engaging with it, then Instagram's going to be like, okay, well, then why would we want to show this to more people? Versus if a lot of people are engaging with it, it's going to go, oh, damn, we should show this to more people. We should show this to we should show this to other people who are eating the pupusas, and we should show this to more people who are looking at real estate. And so even me, who I do this for a living, I usually only post like 3 or 4 times a week. Like, you don't even have to post every day anymore, guys. You can take a deep breath. You can take a deep breath. If you want to post every day, great. But I'm not even the type of person who goes to the gym every single day. So for me, I'm going to post intentionally. I'm going to post consistently, and consistently for me is 3 to 4 times a week. But when I post, I'm really going to have intention, to the point to where, for example, Elias knows this. Very recently, I did something that felt kind of random. And if I didn't show any value to it, it would look very self-serving. It was me just having a dance break to myself, singing to Natasha Bedingfield's Unwritten, right? One of the greatest songs of all time. And instead, if you go look at that post, yes, it's Giselle shaking her hair around and whatever, but then I add value. And I also say, I wanted to sing along with you today. I think we all need a dance break. We all need to have fun. Finish the lyrics for me. And then I also added, sometimes we overthink social media so much, but sometimes it's as simple as, how can I make somebody smile today? And I included the word you. I make my conversations as intimate as possible, where it feels like I'm talking to one person. And then how wonderful it was when so many people, after seeing that post, posted stories and posts with Natasha Bedingfield Unwritten. Even Natasha Bedingfield reposted my post. But even Elias, and he had his daughter, who, happy birthday to her, was singing out in the rain and feeling the rain on her skin and twirling on her birthday. And my post has now gone further. But most importantly, it's not because I did anything clickbaity or like viral. It was because I cared. I cared and I had intention. I want to make someone smile today. Not 11 people, not 100 people, not 1,000,000 people. I just hope one person smiles today. Or I hope 10 people who hate me have Unwritten stuck in their head, and then they're thinking of me, and then they're smiling, and maybe they're a little nicer to somebody else today. So that's going to be my challenge to you. Is it's not posting more, it's posting more with intention. Was that helpful, Jess? I know we went to church for a minute there, but was that helpful?
No, that was extremely helpful. I think the part that I struggle with is making it engaging more and making it more about them, because a lot of what I do is because, like, if I post gym stuff, it's because I am a curvier girl, and we don't see
Love it.
enough curvier girls in the gym that actually care about what they're eating and actually care about what they're doing at the gym. And so, like, I want to be able to intentionally, but most importantly, come from a place of, if I can do this shit, so can you.
So, babe, I love that. This is one of the things that we cover in boot camp, is we really figure out who is it that you're talking to. And one of the, because I'm not someone who I say, pick one person and one avatar, like, fuck that shit. That's not how we do it in boot camp. We really have, like, what I call a happy hour assortment. And one of the people who should always be at your table, and you're going to love this one, your younger self. Do it for your younger self. You didn't see curvy girls at the gym, and so you're doing this for your younger self. And you're talking to young Jess, and you're saying, I think it's important for me to post this because I never used to see people who looked like this at the gym. And I think it's important for you to see people who look like this at the gym. And you might be at that place of you don't want to go to the gym because you feel fat today, or you feel bloated, or you don't know anybody else who looks like you. And Elias knows I'm in a journey right now where I lost about 50 pounds. It took me 4 years to lose 50 pounds. And it was the same thing for me. So by you doing it to your younger self, that would have been inspiring to me 4 or 5 years ago. You know, like to just see like, oh, and that was it for me, because I physically saw a girl at the gym in her sports bra who she was thick and curvy. And I was like, damn, she looks good. But why do I think that I look so bad in a sports bra? Like, she's taller than me, she's wider than me, and she looks banging. And she inspired me to then go, you know what, fuck it, I'm hot. I'm going to take my shirt off. Like, I'm going to wear my sports bra at the gym. And then being that for other people too, where people called me brave and I'm like, I'm just existing. So for you, think about your younger self, and that could be helpful. And for those of you who are like, I need help figuring out who I'm talking to, babe, we do that in boot camp. We do it in boot camp. Get into boot camp.
Love it. Listen, you guys, we have to cut. Unfortunately, I have other meeting that I'm 10 minutes late for, but it's okay. But here's the thing, you guys, if you took any value of this from today, obviously show us your receipts. And what I mean by that is go out there and create something, right? The biggest compliment to Giselle, as well as to myself as coaches, is go out there and show us your receipts. If you can, if you have the means, make sure to sign up for Giselle's boot camp. Make sure to give her a follow. And if you took any pictures from today, make sure to please tag me, tag Giselle on social media. And then if you created a video from today, a thought, an inspiration, a smile, whatever it is, I'd love to be connected on that post. Feel free to tag me on that, as well as Giselle. But you guys, I want to thank you, Giselle, from the bottom of my heart. I feel super connected with you. I'm so glad that I got to meet you. I'm excited about building our relationship in the coming months, coming years. And so you guys, let's just give Giselle some love, some light, some energy. She's still here. You guys, as always, thank you for coming here, and keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and have an amazing, amazing Wednesday. Peace,
Love you
everybody.
guys.
Thank you, Giselle.